You broke the story.
How did you find out?
Well, I'd love to tell you that, Phil, but I'd have to kill you, I'm afraid.
How accurate are your sources?
Very. Well, let's put it this way, Kensington Palace hasn't denied it, and I think since the story broke on Sunday morning, all of the evidence has pointed towards it being true.
How much of what was just said there?
I agree that they have definitely met some members of the royal family, including Princess Eugenie. I agree that he probably has been in, I don't know for definite because I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I think he was in Toronto at the weekend because he was also spotted at a Halloween party, and there were reports of blacked out SUVs around Meghan's house, which would suggest that he was there. I think they've been dating for about 6 months, and they probably met at around April, May-ish, possibly in Toronto, possibly at Soho House in London. I think they've got quite a lot of mutual friends who are quite high society types that all hang out together, and also hang out with Princess Eugenie, who's very good friends with Harry. And I think it's fairly serious. I feel sorry for Meghan because she hasn't been able to defend herself against these allegations. She's now in this really difficult position because the palace won't comment on the relationship officially.
She's going to have to get used to that.
She's going to have to get used to that. So typically, when there are royal relationships, even when Kate Middleton was on the scene for all those years, the palace would never comment on her. They regard her as a private individual until she's got a ring on her finger. And then she becomes sort of quasi-official, and they're able to speak.
Unless they get engaged, are we not ever going to have no one's ever going to officially come forward and say, no, they're dating? I mean, we could hear from either of them.
They're dating. I mean, I wouldn't have written the story if they weren't dating. We don't just make stuff up, funnily enough. Seriously.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Well, we don't on the Sunday Express when it comes to royal stories anyway.
Sure.
And the point is, I suppose, is it's now up to Meghan, isn't it, to decide whether she wants to claim some of the ownership of this.
I mean,
of course she can.
She's very outspoken on her website.
Yes.
She writes blogs and she talks about things all the time.
I mean, regardless of bitter sibling rivalry, this is a great thing. You know, this girl has got a lot to offer. She's not just a pretty face. She clearly has got a great interest in humanitarian work, which chimes beautifully with Prince Harry. I mean, goodness me, hasn't this royal matured over the last 10 years?
At the US.
She was
in the embassy in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, she gave this great speech to the UN. Ban Ki-moon was there applauding it. Look, she's a confident woman. If you watch any of her YouTube videos, or you read anything she's written, or you look on her website, she's very self-assured. She's very in tune with social media. She knows how to connect and communicate. But actually, that's probably what we need in 21st century royal life. I think looking forward, people have said, oh, can he marry a divorcee? Well, Prince Charles has. Or, oh, her mother's black. Is this going to be accepted by the royal family? It's 2016. This is a great thing. Also, imagine the Americans, who we know are very fond of our royal family, for them to have their ready-grown, ready-made American princess married to Prince Harry. Can you imagine?
This is a big story in Canada, and there have been Republican rumblings in Canada, so this won't do that any harm.
It won't do any harm at all. And equally, I think, and this might be a bit of a stretch for some people, but if you think about us moving forward in this post-Brexit world where we have to look truly global, and we shouldn't underestimate the role of the royals in this. You know, they're front and centre as we go out in the world and fly the flag for Great Britain. If we've got another power couple with the potential of the Cambridges, that's only going to be great for the future of the royal family.
Prince Harry is going on a royal tour of the Caribbean, where you will be. That will be the first time you've seen him since you broke the story, where you've made it quite awkward for him to meet his rumoured girlfriend.
You see this from a... Look, it's my job to...
point of view.
You know, Philip...
How crazy we are.
No, because you two are famous, you see it from a different perspective. I'm a journalist, and it's my job to break stories about the people that I write about. You'll have a different view, you know. It's not the 80s and 90s anymore. The royals have never been afforded more privacy. They've had a relationship now for 6 months, and they are entitled to all their privacy, and nobody's going to be training cameras over the backyard fence anymore. You know, in this post-Leversonian world, funnily enough, the royal rat pack is actually quite respectful of the royals. The magazines and the internet now, they continue to publish with impunity, but so-called Fleet Street, you know, we're happy to let relationship blossom. We all love Harry. He's brilliant for copy. He is the story. He's a great chap, and he's a credit to the royal family. So fingers crossed, he's you know, happy with this.
Subtle in what she posted, because it made me laugh when I saw it anyway over the weekend. And there you go. You know, so she said nothing, but posted that on Instagram.
Do you know, exactly. And look, having spoken to Harry on many occasions and reported the royals for the last 15 years, nothing would make me happier for him to settle down and have children. You know, he's a great guy. He loves kids. He just wants to have a family, I think.
Bearing in mind, of course, that she posted that on Halloween, when now we know he was there.
Maybe
who knows?
Went, can I send that? And he went, yeah, go on.
Go on. Goodness knows who they dressed up as at Halloween party. That will be the next set of photos we need to see.
If you enjoyed that, there's more of the same right here. And make sure you subscribe so that you never miss the best moments from this morning.